is the hardest thing I've ever gone through in my life, and I've been through a lot of things. Once you realise you've got cancer, your world is absolutely blown apart. Your life is never the same again. And you think, well, I might not be here this time next year.
She's like my sister. I needed to make sure Rachel was going to be all right.
Look at that for a view over there.
It is, it's beautiful.
Bit of Thelma and Louise going on here into the sunset.
I met Rachel 25 years ago. We were working together on a surgical ward. We just gelled. We used to have some good fun together. Every day we have memories, don't we?
I worked 60, 70-hour weeks within the NHS as a nurse. I'd nursed since I was 16 years old. Part of my role was to diagnose ladies with breast cancer. So I'd already been beginning to feel the strain of working such horrendous hours and carrying such responsibility. And I'd come off work to try and give myself a break. It was while I was off work that I noticed a dimpling in my right breast. Now, having done the job that I'd done for many years, I immediately knew. Jackie was actually on holiday at the time. I sent her a picture.
And she said, "Do you actually think that I might have a breast abscess?"
I was wanting her to say, "Oh, no, actually, I think you've got this one wrong."
I said to her, "You know the answer to that question, don't you, Rachel?"
From my years of looking after women with breast cancer, I know that that moment of realisation is horrendous.
A couple of days went by and Rachel had had a biopsy and she got her results.
Like I say, it was no surprise to me.
I stepped foot off my aeroplane and the first thing I did was went round to Rachel's house, opened the door, and we both cried.
I felt that the best option for me personally and for my family is that I wanted to have a double mastectomy and immediate reconstruction.
The only way that I could cope with it was to be there with Rachel. I'd been within nursing for 34 years. And I remember walking up and saying, "There's my letter, I'm going."
She brought laughter to a situation where you would expect tears. She encouraged me to keep going, and it meant the world to me. I had a test called an oncotype test, which looks at your chance of future recurrence, and mine sat just at the very top score of moderate into the high. I knew that I needed chemotherapy. That decision again for anybody is horrendous, but that decision was made easy for me because I could have it at home.
When the actual first nurse came, I was amazed at how the service was, how professional the nurse was.
From the first moment I met her and I opened my front door and she'd come to do like a pre-assessment, I knew I was okay. Totally down to earth. I'm going to say normal. That probably doesn't sound like much of a compliment, but it really is.
There was no phones ringing. There's no doctor coming on a ward and asking to do a doctor's round.
And still at that point, before I'd met her, I was wobbling about whether I was going to have chemotherapy or not. And I think when she came in and we talked about everything, I knew I was okay and I knew I was going to go that route. Jackie decided that each chemotherapy would be themed. Turned up for the first one in a Father Christmas outfit, and I had a T-shirt with 2 Christmas puddings on the front. With healthcare at home, they see you as a whole person because they can see you not as a patient sat in a chair in a hospital, knowing nothing about you except where's your vein and let's put your cannula in. They see the craziness that surrounds most families, you know, and friendships. And they get to know all those people, so they're not just supporting you as a patient, they're asking your son how his job interview went, or your daughter how her exam went. So it's about holistic nursing, and I knew that they were carrying those principles into my home, and that gave me absolute confidence.
Everybody who walked in to deliver that service to Rachel, that chemotherapy, was just so inspiring. And I remember sitting on the settee and thinking, this is the best treatment anybody can have.